Sound. Ringo TV. Ringo TV. Ringo TV.
Welcome to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions,
The #1 reactionary channel on YouTube.
I'm your host, Ringo. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, and support the content. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. We're dealing with the chosen ones. Yeah, that's right. You see, in today's culture, a lot of people don't understand how serious this is. The chosen ones. A peculiar people. Many of you don't even realize that the Most High has chosen you. A lot of people believe they're chosen just because they know a scripture, but it goes deeper than that. You see, when you understand life and you understand truth and you understand purpose, the light of your life becomes irresistible to many. It's because you're chosen. You're chosen for a purpose. Now, we're going to go on a journey. We're going to do a lot of reading. Readers are leaders. That's what they say. Welcome to the stream, Ringo TV Reactions. Before we begin, I want to read a scripture. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 14, verse 2, it says, "Thou art an holy people, a holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth." You see, when you are chosen, when you are of the Most High, some of you may not even realize that you are. But I'm going to show you, beyond a shadow of doubt, that when you are of the chosen, you're going to go through some things. And the things that you're going to go through, it's going to be rough. It's not going to be fun, but it's required. It's required that you go through the fire. Now, we like to think that everybody loves us. We like to think that everybody rock with us. But I'm here to tell you that your family and your friends, they're going to all betray you when you are of the chosen. They're going to betray you. All the people that you thought that would be there in your time of need, they're going to all turn their back. People that you knew from work, they won't even give you a call. They won't even say, "Hey, fam, just checking in on you to see how you're doing." They don't care. The families you grew up with, the members, the cousins, uncles, everybody, they're going to all act like you don't exist. And see, for most of you that are chosen, you're experiencing these things and you may not even know the Most High. Because see, when you're truly chosen by the Most High, it's not about how many scriptures you know. It's not about what church you attend. When the Most High chose you for a purpose, You could be out in the world just living your life, have no idea who the Most High is, but you're chosen. And you're trying to figure out exactly why you're going through all of these things. Why is it that everybody turned their back against you? Why is it that your family, in whom you thought loved you, turned their back against you? It's like nobody cares. It's like you're all alone in a world that is dark. And I know we all go through different struggles and we go through different things, but at times we have to understand that there's a reason why all of this stuff is happening. Not every struggle is coming from the devil. You see, when you're chosen, you have something on you that is great, and it's supposed to attract the right kind of people. And if you're not careful, your energy will pull all sorts of people into your life. See, one thing on this platform I always teach is that I roll solo. I roll solo because I know who I am. See, when you look at me, you should be able to see the Most High upon me. You're supposed to be able to notice something. There's just something. There is something about that guy. You can't figure it out. And that's how it is when you are truly chosen. You see, rolling solo is for your own protection. Because you cannot be around people without reading them. When I get around people, I can see the devil on them. I can see their intentions. I can see the demons on them. I could come around women and I could just know off the top, these women ain't planning to stay. These women ain't trying to really build. They just want to have a good time with your brother. I could see it a mile away. I can talk to a woman and I could just know where her mind is. And I could just tell she ain't gonna be around long, because that's just the way it is when you're chosen. You're a powerful individual. Some of you don't even know your strength. Some of you don't even know your power. See, when you're truly chosen, you understand the purpose of life. You understand that it's more than wealth and riches, even though we would enjoy to have nice things and possessions. But you understand that life is nothing but a vapor. See, today I'm here, tomorrow I'm gone. You'll be making an RIP video. But see, I understand my purpose, and I understand that I'm not meant to be here forever. I have a job that I have to complete. Yeah, we live in a world that is, physical. We can see people, we can touch, we can feel, we can taste. We can have relationships. We can cry, we can mourn. We can spend money, we can make money. We may have times of a drought, but it's all for the purpose of the Most High. And see, when you're truly chosen, you see life in a different way. See, I'm not reading a script. I am just repeating that which the Most High have in my heart. Do you understand me? See, when you're chosen, you can just speak. You don't have to worry about what you're going to say. It just flows from your spirit because it's not you that's doing it. See, I'm not great. It's the Most High that's great. So if I'm chosen, He made me great. But in order to be great, you're going to have to go through. Through what, you may ask? Well, I'm glad you asked that question. You're going to have to go through the fiery furnace to prove who you are. So throughout this particular stream, I want to talk about the betrayal of family and friend. See, I know about betrayal. I know about people plotting. I understand it. I mean, heck, if I wasn't chosen, I would probably be a part of the crowd that plot and plan. And the reason why is because when you're enlightened and you understand life in general, you begin to understand the evil nature of man. Man is very envious, very jealous, very wicked. And because of this nature, your family and your friends will betray you. Now, you would think that family is going to be there to have your back, but no, your family will be the first proof that you're chosen. And I'm not just talking about some ordinary betrayal. I'm talking about betrayal. I'm talking about your family literally disown you. I'm talking about they just avoid you, don't even want to talk to you. They don't check up on you. They don't even care if you're alive or dead. That's the world we live in. Half of you, the friends you knew back in the day, you don't even know them no more. Half of you, the people that you work with, that you once hanged with, they don't even check up on you to see if you're alive. Because you're of the chosen. And the Most High has a purpose for you. And it requires you going through the fire so you could be refined, so that you could be tested. Not in a negative way, but to prove your heart. You see, greatness comes with a price. And you're going to have to go through to be tested. Just like with every job. You got to test your heart to find out who you are, to see if you can stand the test of time. And see, for many people, they cannot stand the test of time. They fall at the slightest bit of trouble. A lot of people will come in your life and go the next day. Sometimes you guys, you can talk to a woman today and everything seems to be cool. And the minute hard times show up, she pack her bags and she's out. That's how it is in life. See, she was tested because of your downfall. It tested her to see if she would rock with you, but she bailed out. And the reason why she bailed out is because she thought it was the end of you, not realizing it was a test for her to find out where her heart is, to see if she would be the kind of woman that would be there long term. And the Most High tests so many people. And when you're chosen, you have to be very careful because your energy is very valuable. And this is why, as a man or woman, when you're of the chosen, you cannot have too many people around you. You can't. You really can't. See, I find peace being alone. I find peace rolling solo. Not that I am socially awkward or don't want to have a good time. No. The problem is people are evil. And it's very, very important to me to have the right kind of energy around me. This is why, as a man, when it comes to women, you can't be the kind of brother that's thirsty, always want to have everybody around you and all. You can't be that way. You got to keep the Most High first. Focus on your health and fitness. Focus on your job, your bread. And then women will gradually come to you. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the scriptures. We're going to go through the Bible. We are going to find out the truth from the scriptures so that you can learn that your family will betray you first. Before anybody on the outside betray you, your family will be the first. How many of you have family members that have already done betrayed you? Family members that don't talk to you no more. Family members that you told them something good that you're planning on doing, and they just act like they don't even hear you. You tell them you got a promotion on the job, you just bought the house, or you're getting your credit together and you're trying to accomplish this. And it's like, the more you tell them about your great things that you're planning, it's like they just get upset. That's what I mean. So what better way to start the show than to go into the scriptures so that you can understand the life of Joseph? You see, knowledge is power. The problem is a lot of people, they don't have it because they don't rep the Most High. So I want to show you a couple of things, ladies and gentlemen. I want to show you some things that's going to open your eyes. We're going to be reading the book of Genesis, chapter 37. We're going to also read the book of Genesis 39. We're going to also read the book of Genesis, chapter 41. You see, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the truth, you have to be able to read. That's the only way you're going to learn. See, a lot of people, when they see the Bible, they get turned off. Oh, I want to be entertained. I want to laugh and giggle. There's a time for that. There's nothing wrong with being entertained. There's nothing wrong with having a good laugh. At the same time, in order for you to understand life and know where you're going as a chosen one, you're going to have to study the scriptures so you can see the life of a chosen one. So you can find yourself in the scriptures. Because once you do that and you learn from it, you'll know how to cope with the issues you're going through. So, without further ado, as you come into the building, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell for more. We're going to break down the life of Joseph. You see, Joseph was a chosen one. And Joseph represents many of us today. Many of us that are walking through this life, trying to figure everything out. Because it's a journey. It can be bitter, sweet, good, bad, ugly, confusing. Sometimes I sit and I wonder myself, why? Why this happened? Why that happened? You trying to get to a certain level? You want greatness, right? You prayed to the Most High. You want to be great? Well, you're going to be tested. You're going to be put in the fire. Your faith is going to be challenged. Everybody will betray you. And you're going to be left alone, only to depend on the Most High. That's it. Nobody will be there for you. All the people that said they love you, they actually hate you. Yeah. I know it's tough, but it's a part of life. See, I understand that when I'm gone, the memory, the work, and everything will live through those that I impact. Because I understand that as a chosen one, I'm here for a purpose. It's not about me. Once you realize that life is about a purpose, then you get out of yourself and you begin to realize that as long as I'm repping the Most High, everything is going to be good. So no matter what I'm going through, the Most High is going to be with me. When you are a chosen one, anything you do is supposed to prosper. When you're truly chosen of the Most High, whatever you touch prospers. People are supposed to see it. People are supposed to marvel about it. And if I were you, and if I know someone that's chosen, I would literally be around that person. Why? Because being around a person that is chosen is only going to keep you blessed. I promise you. It's in the scriptures. And we're going to read that right now. So with that being said, let's get into this. Let's get into these scriptures and find out what's going on. Shall we? According to the Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 37, and just follow along as we go on this journey. I guarantee you, you will find yourself in these scriptures, and it will encourage you and wake you up to the point where you're going to realize why things happened the way they did. Through the life of Joseph, you are going to be open to the truth. Now, according to the scriptures, it goes into verse 1. It says, "And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren. And the lad was with sons of Belhal, and was the sons of Zelpath, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children." Now, let me stop there for a second. A lot of times when people read and they hear stuff like, well, Joseph loved Joseph more than all his children. We say stuff in this day, as a man, you're supposed to love all your children equally. When I talk about the topic of polygyny, in terms of a man having more than one wife, women normally say stuff like, well, he need to love his wives equally. No, that don't happen. You see, in the scriptures, we can clearly see that Israel basically loved Joseph more than all his children. And there's a reason why. Because he knew that Joseph was chosen. He knew that. And there's nothing wrong with loving one son or loving one daughter more than the other. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a reason for that. See, when you're concerned about somebody loving one over you more, that's a sign of jealousy. It goes back to the scriptures where you had Miriam and Aaron. They spake against Moses. They were like, well, God speaks to me too. And what happened to Miriam? She was struck with leprosy. Do you see that? That's jealousy. Moses was the chosen one. Yes, the Most High may have spoken to Aaron, but he is not the chosen one. He's not Moses. And sometimes we don't respect the fact that the Most High chose that person, or the Most High have more love for that person. That person has a responsibility that you could never handle. See, when you're a chosen one, you have a responsibility. Everybody want to be chosen, but are you willing to do the work? Are you going to do the work when you don't got no money? Are you going to do the work when everybody turned against you? So as we read and understand, there's a reason why he loved Joseph more than all his sons. Now, it goes on and says, and he loved them pretty much more than all his sons, right? Let's see where we at. Now, Israel loved Joseph more than all his sons because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peacefully unto him. Do you see what's happening here? Let me turn this off. Do you see what's happening? They grew bitter. They hated their own brother because they saw that the father loved Joseph more. Isn't it the same way in your family? You may have been a son, a daughter, and your mom or your father, they treated you different from all the other brethren. And for some reason, your brothers grew cold because of that. Well, what happens in the household and the family is a representation of what you're going to face in the real world. So if your family is betraying you, don't be surprised when the world do. Even the Messiah said, if they betray you, if they speak evil of you, know that they spoke evil of me first. So it's not a surprise when people plot against me. It's not a surprise when people spread lies, rumors, gossip. It's not a lie. It's not a shock to me, because they did that to the Messiah. They did that to the prophets. So what makes you think you're so special that you're going to overcome or not have these things happen to you? So as we look at the scriptures, it's very clear that his brothers were not too happy about this. And it goes on and it says, and Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told his brethren. Now notice what Joseph did. He dreamed a dream and he told his brothers. No different than when you have dreams of greatness, dreams of buying your first home, your first automobile, dreams of starting a business, and you tell your brothers, you tell your cousins. What happened when you tell your cousins and your family? They're not happy for you. Now, I know we wish that our family would be joyful as us, but I'm here to tell you, when you tell them your dreams, most of the time they're not going to be happy about it because they don't have it in them to do it. So you telling them about the great things that you plan on doing, it only make them look in the mirror and realize how much of a failure they really are. Right? So now let's get back to this. So we know that Joseph dreamed dreams and he told his brethren, right? And notice what it says. And they hated him yet the more. Notice this. He told his brothers his dream, and they hated him even more, which substantiate my claim and my point that when you tell family and friends about the things you plan on doing, I'm planning on starting a business. Hey, yo, bro, I'm going to start this business. They don't want to hear that. That's the last thing they want to hear. They got to get up in the morning to go to work. You telling them about a business you about to start. They don't want to hear that. Oh, you're a music producer? Hey, yo, fam, could you check out this song of mine? Tell me what you think. They listen to the song sound real good. They act like they don't notice it. So, bro, what do you think about the song? It's all right. Anyway, fam, I gotta go. Notice how they treating you. They know your song is good, but they don't want to give you your flowers. They don't want to tell you you're good. Why? Because hearing you do such a song, they become envious. They don't mind giving everybody else their flowers. They don't mind letting everyone else show them music. They jump up for joy for others. But when it comes to you, the chosen one, they give you the cold shoulder. Well, that's exactly what they did to Joseph. He was a dreamer of dreams, and he told his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed, for behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obedience to my sheaves. And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us? Now notice this. They saw the dream of what he was showing them, and it appeared that they would be bowing down. Do you see that? So they're looking at him like, so hold up. So you're going to be ruling over us? You're our younger brother. Ain't no way you ruling over me. Ain't no way you going to make me bow. Do you see how they're getting mad? This is what's going on in real life, fam. This is what's going on. Now, it goes on and it says, And his brethren said unto them, Thou shalt indeed reign over us? Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more. Do you see how much hate is brewing because he's chosen? And if you're joining in the stream, peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Appreciate everybody stopping by. We're talking about the chosen ones who will be betrayed by family and friends. Now notice the hate that is coming to Joseph. The more he talk, the more they hate him. The more he talk, the more they hate him. The more he talk, the more they hate him. Do you see that? When you are chosen, the more you talk, the more they will hate you. Even here in these YouTube streets, the more I talk, the more they hate me. I'm just telling you. That's just how it is. So, let's get back to this. So, they're pretty much upset. They're like, Or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. Do you see, ladies and gentlemen? His dreams they hated, and his words they hated. And he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren. Now, think about this. Joseph is not trying to cause his brothers to hate him. He wants his brothers to love him. See, when I come around people and I teach the truth, I do it because I care. I do it because it's a word that I have to put out there. When I do content, when I do whatever I do, I don't do that to make people envy or for people to hate. But this is going to come to you regardless how you feel, because you're chosen. Joseph would have never thought that his brothers hated him this bad. He thought that by him telling them the dreams that he's looking out for them because of his gift that he have. But they didn't see it that way. Just like most people ain't going to see you that way. So it goes on and it says, and he dreamed yet another dream and told it his brethren and said, behold, I have dreamed a dream more. And behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obeisance to me. And he told it to his father and to his brethren. And his father rebuked him. Now notice this, his father rebuked him now and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed bow down ourselves to thee, to the earth? And his brethren envied him. Wow. But his father observed the sayings. Do you see what just took place? So even the father understood the dream and he observed it. The father didn't just dismiss him. He rebuked him, not necessarily shutting him down. He inquired more out of him. Like, are you saying that we're going to all bow down to you? And his brothers envied him more. Do you see how, as a chosen one, the more you talk, people are going to hate you? Even though you're trying to give them guidance, even though you're trying to be a blessing, they don't see it that way. No matter what you do, they're going to envy you even more. It becomes a lonely life. I'm going to be honest with you, fam. When you are of the chosen, you are going to live a lonely life. Not in the sense of you are thirsty for attention from people. Not in the sense of I'm just so lonely and I wish I had people. No, not that. You're just going to be a loner. A person that walks alone. It's going to feel like you're serving time in prison, in a personal cell that the Most High built just for you. I would submit that when you are truly a chosen one, you are serving time in a prison that the Most High put you in. Not captivity, but to protect you. To protect you and your energy from the world. Because a person like you becomes very attractive to others. If you're a man, you're going to attract a lot of women. You're going to attract guys that just want to hook up to do things with you in terms of, hey man, could I produce a song with you? Could I work with you doing this? Could I do that? Could I do this? And a lot of those people may not have good intentions. A lot of the women that want to gravitate towards you, they're not coming to you because they want to build family and serve you and cater to you. No, they just want to have a good time. A lot of you guys that are chosen, believe it or not, you'll have women coming to you with their underwear in hand, ready to get it in, and you don't even have to do nothing. I'm just being honest with you. This is the truth. But as a chosen one, you have to be very wise not to lay with such women, because they don't come to you with purpose. They come to you with their desire just to lay up. And when you're a true chosen man, you're not going to be too quick to do all of that. You may have desires because you're still a man at the end of the day. But you know not to engage with every woman you come around. And this is very serious because a lot of times when I talk about polygyny, women think that when I talk like that it means that, oh, Ringo just goes out there sleeping around with 1,000 women. For what? For what? What am I doing that for? Why am I giving my energy to women that don't even deserve it? Why am I giving women my seed? For what? It's power. Why would I do that? So as a chosen one, you have to be very careful. If you're a woman and you're chosen, you have to be very, very careful, because men are going to be attracted to you very heavy. Not only are you attractive, but you're a woman. So You have to do way more work. And this is why, as a woman, you have to have a father, you have to have brothers, men in your family that are there to guide you, protect you, school you, so that you can understand how to protect your essence. Because once Satan get a hold of you, he'll dim your light. And as a woman, when you have beauty and you have everything else that goes along with that, to defile yourself is to destroy your soul. And your value will go down the tubes, even though you were chosen. And that's the last thing you want to do. Getting back to the point, it's very clear that Joseph is hated by his brothers. Very, very clear. And it's also clear that his father understands the dreams. But now look at what happened. Look at what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Joseph sold by his brothers. Joseph's own brothers sold him into slavery. How many of your families disown you, sold you out, talked about you, gossiped about you, lied on you, fabricated stories, told other people not to work with you? How many of you worked for a company and people from that company told other businesses and workplaces not to hire you? You asked the people, hey, could I get a letter of recommendation? It'll really help me to get that job. And they didn't want to give you the letter. They didn't want to see you eat. They didn't want to see you survive. How many times this happened to you? How many of you lost a job and the people you worked with never contact you, never see how you're doing, never see if you're alive, never see if you need anything, if you're okay? Like, bro, hey, I'm just checking in on you. Are you good? It's really rough out here, man. But these are the things that we go through. Let's get back to the story. Joseph sold by his brothers. In verse 12, it goes on and it says, and his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said unto Joseph, do not thy brethren feed the flocks in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here I am. And he said to him, go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with thy brethren and well with the flocks. In other words, go check on your brothers. Make sure everything is going good with the flocks. And bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. Let me move this thing up so we can read the rest. Let me see. Okay. All right. Now it goes on and it says, and a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks? And the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. Verse 18, and when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. Do you see what's taking place here? His own brothers. We're not talking about friends. We're not talking about people in the hood. We're not talking about people of the other nations. We're talking about people of his own house. They saw him coming from afar. No different than if we're in the hood and we see somebody coming from down the block. We know that's Jeffrey. And while he's walking towards him, they're plotting, saying, we're going to take him out. That, ladies and gentlemen, should tell you that family and friends will betray you. They will plot against you to sacrifice you. They will do harm to you. Don't think for a split second that everybody in your family rock with you. Joseph's family, his brothers, his own blood, was plotting to slay him. It's crazy, right? So it goes on and it talks about how, they were going to slay him. Verse 20. And it's just a wild thing, man. This is just sad that this is happening. And this is happening in your life right now. Verse 19, and they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. Notice how they calling him names. This dreamer cometh. Verse 20, come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit. And we will say, some evil beasts have devoured him. And we shall see what become of his dreams. So they basically are plotting and planning to harm him, to take his life, throw him in a pit, and basically lie to the father and say a wild beast devoured Joseph. Isn't that like how your family did you? They did dirt to you, plotted against you, and then lied, made up a story, told your mom this is what went down, told your father, told your cousin that you did this and you did that, and now everybody's against you. Your co-worker told the company, the supervisor, that you did this, and you never did it, but they're lying on you, conspiring against you. This is what's happening, people. So, verse 21, and Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rib him out of their hands to deliver him to his father again. In other words, he tried to help his brother, right? And it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors. In other words, this is like a coat of glory, a special coat that was made for him, made for the chosen. They stripped him out of it because they were always jealous of the fact that the father made him a special coat. They were jealous of that coat. No different than your family and your friends are jealous when they see you dressing nice, when they see you looking good, wearing nice apparel, nice linen clothes, whatever it is that you got, designer, and they see you looking good, they're jealous of that. Right? They're jealous of it. So they stripped him out of his coat of many colors, right? And they took him and cast him into a pit. They cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. Are y'all understanding how serious this is? They cast him into a pit that goes down. There's no water in it, which means Joseph was injured. It ain't like he went into the pit and splashed into some water and it broke the fall. They just threw him into the pit. There was no water in it. So not only was he injured, but there was no water in there for him to even survive if he's going to be there for many days. Do you see what they did to him? His own brothers did this to him. Not some distant enemy. His own house did this to him. And they're doing this to you right now. So there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lift up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. Now, as you can see, they're still contemplating deleting their own brother. They said, you know what? Let's sell him to the Ishmaelites. Let's make a profit off of him. How many of you, people try to use you to make a profit off of you? How many? How many of you get involved with people to do certain things and they're only trying to make a profit off of you? They don't really care about you, but they're just trying to make a profit off of you. And that's exactly what they did to Joseph. They said, come, let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let us not our hands be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh. And his brethren were content. In other words, they all agreed. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lift up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph to Egypt. 20 pieces of silver. 20 pieces of silver they sold their brethren. See, this is what happens when you're of the chosen. When you're of the chosen, ladies and gentlemen, they're going to do their best to stop your purpose. All that was taking place against Joseph was to take him out, to take him off the path that the Most High set before him. But one thing, you cannot stop the chosen. You cannot defeat the chosen. You ought to be afraid to touch the chosen. You ought to be concerned for your own safety. Because when you are chosen, the Most High is with you. He really is. And you're going to learn that. So, they sold him for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought him, Joseph, into Egypt. Right? So now it goes on, and Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit. And he rent his clothes, which means he teared his shirt, he teared his clothes, and he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, and I, whither shall I go? Notice what they said, the child, because remember, he was a young boy. He was their young brother, their youngest brother. All the other brothers were elder brothers, and they were jealous and envied their younger brother. Isn't that the same today? How you can have brothers and sisters and they all envy one another. Or not necessarily envy one another, but each of the brothers and the sisters envy that particular child. So if you got 5 brothers, they all envy you. If you have 3 sisters and 2 brothers, they all envy you. Because they see that mom favor you more, dad favor you more. It seems like they pay more attention to you, not realizing that you're the one who is chosen. All of you cannot be chosen. All of you cannot be chosen. And that's the problem in today's day. Everybody believes they're a chosen one. No. You might be people of the Most High. Yeah, that's true. You could be people of the Most High, but not everybody is chosen. There's only but a few. See, when you're chosen, you are pretty much set aside by the Most High for something very, very great. And it's designed to draw people. Your life is supposed to impact people in a great way. Everybody cannot be chosen. That's just not possible. Because you got to be tested. You're going to be tried. I've been through a lot. A whole lot. I've been tested in all sorts of ways. I understand people. I understand the nature of a human. Sometimes I think that I'm not even of this world. Sometimes I look around and I get up and I'm like, why am I here? Why am I here experiencing this human existence? I should be living in a different world. I'm around primitive beings and I look at things different and I'm trying to figure out what's happening here. This world is confused. This world is actually behind. We're in the year 2023, but if I was to give you my honest opinion, the world as we know it is behind. They're behind in technology. They're behind in the purpose in which we're supposed to be accomplishing today. We're way off schedule. We're supposed to be way ahead. we're supposed to be about a good 500 years ahead, but we're not. We're set back. I don't know why. I don't know if the government or the world leaders, whoever, is purposely holding back progress. But technology-wise, we're supposed to be way more advanced. The fuel that we use to power vehicles and to do various things, these things are outdated. The type of cars that are being built, it's outdated. I truly believe that there is technology that the powers that be have in place that they enjoy in a secret way, but we have no possession of this material or technology. But they have it. They just don't want to release it because of various reasons. It could change the course of nature. It can take them out of power, perhaps. But again, it's all purpose, right? It's all purpose. So let's get back to this. It goes on and it says, Jacob mourned. Now notice this. Jacob now mourned Joseph, his father. He mourned. And they took Joseph's coat. Now look at what they did to him. It says, and they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid of the goats. In other words, a young goat, right? And dipped the coat in blood. And they set the coat of many colors. And they brought it to their father and said, this have we found. Know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. And he knew it and said, it is my son's coat. And evil beasts have devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. Wow. They basically told the father that Joseph was ripped to shreds by a beast. His own brothers did this. So how much more are they going to do to you? How much more are you going to experience in the world as a chosen one? If his own brethren did this to him, why you as a chosen one are so concerned about people that talk about you? They're going to talk about you. They're going to lie. They're going to fabricate stories. They're going to speak some evil things about your name. Ladies and gentlemen, when you are of the chosen, they will all conspire against you, but they won't win. That's the good news. That's the good news. Let's get back into this. So they said that he was rent into pieces, and Jacob rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his sons many days. His son many days. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him. And the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard. And this is where the story gets interesting. Joseph was now sold to Egypt by the Midianites, and he's taken into custody. Very, very interesting story. But it has such a great ending. Such a wonderful victory, to say the least. Let's get into this, shall we? Let's look at more. Genesis chapter 39. Again, we're reading certain chapters because I don't want to be here for 300 hours, even though I can do that. And I highly recommend that if you are a follower of the Most High, that you spend time actually reading the scriptures. Read the scriptures. Don't just be a person that claim you know stuff, but you don't read. Now, in the book of Genesis chapter 39, I want you to see what happens here, because again, when you are of the chosen, I told you that women are going to come to you. As a chosen vessel, as a man of truth, women are going to gravitate towards you. Most of you guys that are chosen, you know what I'm talking about. Women will come to you with their underwear in hand, ready to get it in, with no problem, no strings attached. They just want an experience. They really don't want a relationship. They really don't want that. But as a chosen vessel, you have to turn that down. You have to recognize where that woman is coming from. Not saying you're not a man. You're going to look, you're going to have desires because you're a man. At the same time, the Most High will reveal to you who women really are. So let's find out what happened here. Joseph and Potiphar's wife. According to the scriptures, it goes in and it says, meanwhile, Joseph had been taken down to Egypt, where an Egyptian named Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and captain of the guard, bought him in from the Ishmaelites, who had taken him there. And the Lord was with Joseph. When you are of the chosen, the Lord is going to be with you. I promise you. Sometimes I step out of my body and I look at the world. I look at the things I've been through. I look at all the fears, the challenges, the heartache, the pain, times of weeping. And I look at things and I'm like, man, the Most High was with me the whole time. The Most High walked me through that. It's amazing. It really is amazing when you realize that the Most High is with you. Sometimes we do things that we're not too proud of, or you might be caught up in things that you're not supposed to be doing. And yet the Most High is still with you. And you're trying to figure out, like, Most High, like, why are you still rocking with me if I'm not up to par where I need to be? And the thing is, he already know that already. He already know. He already know you're not up to par. He already done know you don't got everything together. But you're a chosen one. When you're a chosen one, the Most High already see the future. He already know where you're going. He see the beginning from the end. You just can't see yourself. You just don't know your greatness, but he see it already. He see you in the promised land. And that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of this. It goes on and it says, and the Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man. His brothers sold him into slavery, thought that they destroyed him, thought that they dimmed his light. But look what happened to Joseph. And Joseph became a successful man, serving in the house of his Egyptian master. Verse 3. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, when his master saw that the Lord was with him, man, when his master saw that the Lord was with him. Don't that sound good? That's crazy, right? Notice this, ladies and gentlemen. I need for you to let it marinate. It says that he saw that the Lord was with him. Verse 3, when his master saw that the Lord was with him and made him prosper in all he did. Do you see that? Now, think about this. It ain't like the Egyptian had a Bible. It ain't like the Egyptian knew the scriptures. There was no Bible. At the same time, his master saw the Lord on him. How did he see? I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you how. When you are truly chosen of the Most High, when you are truly a chosen one, there are signs. This will separate you from the real chosen ones, from those that just act like they're chosen. A true man or a woman that is chosen by the Most High, people will see that whatever you touch prospers. Yes. When you are truly chosen of the Most High, whatever you put your hands upon, whatever you touch, wherever you go, prospers. If we put you in the prison will prosper. If we put you in Home Depot, the business will become successful. If we put you in the plumbing business, it will be successful. If we make you work for Uber, it will be successful. If you work for UPS, it will be successful. Wherever we put you, everything seems to go good. If we hire you, the company may have been failing, but as soon as you enter the workplace, I don't know what happens, but everything starts working. Your life and energy begin to rub off on all the employees at the workplace. Before you know it, the workplace becomes a beautiful place. Yeah, you might have your occasional drama here and there, but what I'm talking about is prosperity. When you are truly a chosen vessel of the Most High, wherever the Most High put you, it becomes blessed. If he put you in a certain neighborhood, you could be in the ghetto, in the hood, in the heart of crime. You could be in the ghetto. You could be in Brooklyn. You could be in an area where there's crime. But because you are there, the presence of the Most High is there. Yeah. Because you are there, for some reason, there is no crime. Because you're there, there is no violence. You're in the hood. You're right around the jungle. And yet, it's peaceful. For some reason, when people look at you, they know you're following the Most High, aren't you? They can't even figure it out, but they know that there's something about you. All the hood ninjas, oh yeah, they respect you. You know why? Because they could see the Most High on you. The demons that are inside of people, they know who you are. Similar to when Lot was in Sodom and Gomorrah, and the Most High sent angels to get him up on out of there because he was going to execute judgment on the land. What's interesting about that story is that he was a chosen one. He was chosen. But his wife wasn't. Because when they told him to get up out the land, flee and don't look back, she looked back and turned into a pillar of salt. And it's interesting. It's interesting how we go through things and we don't understand the judgments of the Most High. See, everything has already been written. Your life has already been planned. Your life has already have a schedule, a beginning and an end. There are different courses where your life can take you. Yes, you have free will. That's nice to know. But to be honest with you, life is already prepared. It's already pre-recorded. It's already written. It's set. There's many different paths in which you're going to go. The Most High already know where. The path to righteousness leads to this way. The path to death leads that way. Then you could take a detour and go that way. The Most High sees all the different roads you could take in life. It's already set. What he's trying to do is get you to go this way, towards the path of righteousness. But what we love to do is we go take the hand of the devil and we go this way. It takes us longer to get to our purpose. But see, when you're truly one who is chosen, and you can hear from the Most High, you keep yourself hidden from society almost, because you want to hear his voice and his directions and follow his leadership and guidance. See, we are predestined to be just and to be great in our walk. This is why it's very apparent, very, very important for us to listen to the truth. It's very important. See, when I do my reaction videos and I break videos down, that's the power of the Most High that's upon me. The ability to talk, that's the power of the Most High that's upon me. See, without the Most High, I can't do nothing. I really can't. Without the Most High, I'm nobody. I don't brag about who I am because I'm nobody without the Most High. And I'm comfortable with that. See, I don't want to boast and brag about being the greatest, being this and being that, because the Most High is actually the greatest. So, what does all of this mean? Well, I'll tell you exactly what it means. It means a lot. It means a whole lot. Let's break this thing down. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, how did he see that, ladies and gentlemen? He saw that all that he did prosper. All that he did prosper. When you are truly a chosen one, everything you do prospers. Everything you do works. Whatever you start becomes amazing. People can look at you and be like, man, how in the world you do it, bro? That's the Most High. Now notice what happened in verse 4. Joseph found favor in his sight and became his personal attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household and entrusted him with everything he owned. That's deep. Now notice this. Joseph's brothers sold him into captivity, sold him into slavery. And look at how he's being blessed. Look at how he's being blessed. To the point where Potiphar entrusted him with everything he owned. He entrusted him with everything he owned. 5. From the time he put Joseph in charge of his household and all he owned, the Lord blessed the Egyptians' household. Wow. Now notice this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to see this. This is very powerful. It'll change your life. I promise you, this section here will change your life forever. Because a lot of you that are chosen ones, you're in places and people have neglected you because they think you're a nobody, not realizing that you are the one upholding that place. The blessing that is on your life is upholding that place. Me, living where I'm at right now is upholding this entire neighborhood to the point where people are more at peace and they think that it's just the neighborhood, and it's not. It's because the chosen is here. You must understand this. Listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this section. Verse 5, from the time that he put Joseph in charge of his household and all he owned, the Lord, now notice what the Lord did. The Lord blessed the Egyptians' household. Why? On account of him. Are you seeing this? The Most High blessed the Egyptian's household not because the Egyptian was serving the Most High, because he wasn't. He blessed his household because of Joseph. A lot of you chosen ones that are out here, the Most High is blessing things around you because you're there. And if you were to leave, the day you leave, everything crumbles. Everything. How many of you lived in a neighborhood that was filled with crime, but when you were living there, crime went down? The neighborhood seemed good, but when you moved out and came back a year or two later just to visit, the whole neighborhood was in ruins. That's because the presence of the Most High was no longer there. What I want you to get out of this, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why the Most High blessed the Egyptians' households because of Joseph. And the same thing will happen for you if you're a chosen one. The Most High will begin to bless other people around you because of their connection with you. The Most High will begin to give other people opportunity. This is how the blessing works. The Most High will bless people around you because of you. I don't think it's registering in your mind. The Most High will cause people around you to become successful in whatever they do because of the purpose that you have. Because their life is going to be an instrument in the purpose that you're doing. And he prospers everybody around you, fixes this, put this here, put that there, do this there, put this person in position because of you. Right? Let's go. So now it goes on and it says that he did this on behalf of Joseph. The Lord's blessing was on everything he owned. Now notice the Lord's blessing was on everything that Potiphar owned, both his house and his field. So Potiphar left all that he owned in Joseph's care. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this, ladies and gentlemen? Potiphar noticed that everything he owned was being blessed, and he knew it wasn't because of him. It was because of Joseph. He recognized that the Lord was with Joseph, and he feared Joseph, not in the sense of fearing for his life. No, he respected Joseph because he knew that Joseph's God was showing him favor and blessed not only Joseph, but even the house of the Egyptians. To the point where Potiphar said, you know what? Hey, I realize you blessed, bruh. You blessed. You're amazing. The Lord is with you. Right? So the Lord's blessing was upon everything he owned, both his house and his field, verse 6, So Potiphar left all that he owned in Joseph's care, and he did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. Are you seeing this? Potiphar put everything in Joseph's care. And all he was concerned with was the food he ate. Because Joseph was so blessed that the kingdom of Potiphar was just amazing and peaceful. Now Joseph was well built and handsome. Are y'all seeing this now? Now check this out, ladies. The Bible says that Joseph was well built, which means he had a nice physique and he was handsome. You see, brothers, when you're a chosen one, you're supposed to be well built and you're supposed to be handsome. I'm just saying. Right? So now it says that Joseph was well built, which means he had a nice physique, and he was handsome. Verse 7, and after some time, his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph and said, "Sleep with me." I told you that when you are chosen, women are going to come to you. I told you guys, keep the Most High first. Health and fitness. Joseph was built, well built, and handsome. Health and fitness. He was well built and handsome. Health and fitness. Then focus on your money. And what happens next? Women come to you. But not only do good women come to you, wicked women come to you. The scriptures goes on and it says that basically Potiphar's wife came to Joseph and said, "Sleep with me." Now imagine the temptation. Imagine the temptation, because Potiphar's wife was extremely beautiful. Man, I could just imagine. She must have came to him with no clothes on. Imagine the temptation. But think of the price. Potiphar put you in charge of everything. And now his wife. Do you see, guys, how you could be with a woman? Do you see, guys, how you can give a woman the world? Do you see how you can have money, wealth, and riches, and your wife will still look at another man? It's crazy. It's crazy, fam. This is amazing. So, the wife asks, "Sleep with me." Verse 8. But he refused. He refused. Now, guys, I got to give you the bad news. When you are a chosen one and you refuse to sleep with a woman, especially a woman that has a man, she will begin to devise a plot to make you look like you did something dirty to her. Because to be a man and you deny being intimate with a woman, it can really piss her off. You must be a very strong man to, I guess, refuse vajayjay. Very, very strong. All right? So, but he refused, looked, he said to his master's wife, "With me here, my master does not concern himself with anything in his house, and he has entrusted me everything he owned to my care. No one in this house is greater than I am. He has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. So how could I do such a great evil and sin against God?" How could I do such a great evil and sin against God? See, it's evil as a man to sleep with another man's wife. That would be considered adultery. When a man lay with another man's wife, that's adultery. That's the only time a man is in the wrong. Let's get back. It goes on and it says, verse 10, although Potiphar's wife spoke to Joseph day after day, notice day after day she was speaking to this man, he refused to go to bed with her. Notice this. Every single day, this woman was pressing him, thirsty, wanting him to get it in. Imagine, guys, you're home chilling, doing videos on YouTube, and a sister keep knocking your door. She's a wife, her husband is with her, but she knocks your door every day. And she's wearing nothing, and she opens her robe, and she's like, "You don't want me to come inside and we could just have a good time? My husband don't be home till 8 p.m. And you're telling her no. Imagine that temptation every single time. That's what Joseph had to deal with, right? So it goes on and it says that although Potiphar's wife spoke to Joseph day after day, he refused to go to bed with her or even be near her. Guys, it's best not to even be near a woman that is like this. One day, however, Joseph went into the house to attend to his work, and not a single household servant was inside, so he was the only one in the house. Verse 12, she grabbed Joseph by his cloak and said, "Sleep with me." You see, Joseph didn't have no problem getting vajayjay. Imagine, guys, a woman coming up to you and just telling you, "Hey, sleep with me." Some of you guys would look at that as your lucky day. I'm pretty sure some of you guys would love for a lady to come up to you today and do that. Man, some of you guys never had a woman come up to you and say, "Sleep with me." But Joseph did, right? She was very, very desperate and demanding. Wow. She said, "Sleep with me." This is crazy. But leaving his cloak in her hand, he escaped and ran out. So basically, she took his cloak because, remember, he had that on him and he ran out to escape from her. He had to run from the vagina. He ran from the vagina. Imagine a woman offering you and you ran from it. So basically, Joseph was falsely imprisoned. Let's read what happened. Verse 13. When she saw that he had left his cloak in her hand and ran out of the house, she called her house servants. "Look," she said, "this Hebrew has been brought to us to make sport of us." You have to think about what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. This is really crazy. Look at what's going on here. I have to make you understand what's going on here, because this is what she did, fam. This is what she did. She called her house servants.
"Look, this Hebrew has been brought to us to make sport of us. He came to me so he could sleep with me. But I screamed loud as I could. When he heard me scream for help, he left his cloak beside me and ran out the house. Yes, that's what he did to me. Yes. He tried to take advantage of me, Potiphar. He tried to come on to me. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I know you brought him in. I know he brought us prosperity. But he tried to take advantage of me. I was scared for my life. I was really scared. I called out for help. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
That's pretty much what happened. She lied. She lied and she told a story. That's what happened. That is exactly what happened, fam. Verse 19, when his master heard the story, his wife told him, saying, "This is what your slave did to me." He burned with anger. So Joseph's master took him and had him thrown into the prison where the king's prisoners were confined. You see what happened? Because of a woman. Because of a woman, this happened. Do you see how men lose their freedom over women? You know how many men are in the penitentiary today because of a woman? And this pretty much is what happened. Over a woman, over bochinche, word of the mouth, gossip, hearsay, stories, fabricated stories and lies. A good man was thrown in prison. How many good men do we know that are in prison today? Because of a woman. So, they threw him into prison where all of his prisoners were confined. While Joseph was there in prison, the Lord was with him. I'm telling you, man. Listen. You cannot stop a good man. When the Lord is with you, no matter where you go, you're going to always be prosperous. Look what it says. While Joseph was there in the prison, the Lord was with him and extended kindness to him, granting him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. Are y'all seeing that? While in prison, he got favor from the warden. While in prison, ladies and gentlemen, he received favor of the warden. No different than if you're in today's day and you go to prison, you might get into a situation where the Most High is with you. Even in prison, prison guards favor you. You know what I mean? The warden favors you. You get special treatment. Why? Because the Lord is with you. So it goes on and it says in verse 22, and the warden put all the prisoners under Joseph's care. Wow. Amazing. Look at this. The same way Potiphar put everything under Joseph, the warden put everything under him now in the prison. Why? Because everything in the prison was working out good. Everything. Everything he touched prospered. You see this? So, it goes on and it says, the warden put the prisoners under Joseph's care so that he was responsible for all that was done in the prison. Imagine this. The same way Joseph was blessed on the outside of the prison walls, now he's blessed in the prison, to the point where, because the Most High is with him, it had such an impact that the warden put him in charge. The warden did not concern himself with anything under Joseph's care. This is crazy. This is amazing. And this is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you are of the chosen. Even in prison, you can't stop a chosen one. He was betrayed by his family, betrayed by his brothers, sold into captivity, became prosperous, thrown into prison after being lied on by his wicked wife, Pontiphar wicked wife, and even in the prison, when he should be suffering and struggling, now he's an overseer in the prison. To the point where the warden is sitting back eating bonbons while Joseph is running the prison because of his wisdom that he get from the Most High. Amazing, right? The warden did not concern himself with anything under Joseph's care because the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did. Amazing. You see that? That's what happens when the Most High is with you. You'll have favor with everybody. So now, we're going to go into Genesis 41. I'm going to go into there, find out some more details. Because we talked about being betrayed. We talked about the woman lying on him. These are all the things that will take place against you when you are of the chosen. Now check it out. Genesis chapter 41, the dreams of Pharaoh. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river, and behold, there came out of the river 7 well-favored kine, and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood out by the other kine upon the brink of the water, the river. And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept, and he dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up, 1 stalk rank and good, and behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears, and Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. Verse 9. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put him in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, and I and he, we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And there was there with us a young man, a Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. Are y'all seeing what's taking place here? He's telling them that although he was put into prison, he was interpreting dreams. Do you see how word of who you are spreads? Joseph was an interpreter of dreams as well. And he made this man understand his dream and what took place. So he's letting this other man know what took place. Let's follow it. Let's see what's going on. Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream. Let's read what went down. Let's go. Verse 14, then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily, meaning they hurried up and got him out of the dungeon. And he shaved him. Notice they had to shave him because he was all messed up, and changed his clothing, which is raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream. I'm pretty sure this is probably a scripture where Dr. King got that statement of I have a dream. He says, I have a dream. I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can't interpret it. Now think about this. Out of all the magicians, all of the wise men in Egypt, none of them could interpret the dream. So they sent for Joseph. They sent for a man of the Most High. They sent for a Hebrew. I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it. In other words, I heard a rumor that you can interpret dreams. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. God shall give thee, Pharaoh, an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow, and behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. Verse 20, and the lean and the ill-favored kine did eat up the first 7 kine, fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, meaning there was no sign of a belly or anything. It was like you just couldn't tell. But they were still ill-favored, as at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. Now notice this. He's now going to break it down. He's now going to break it down. He's now going to break it down. break it down. This is why I know how to break down videos when I do reactions. Now you know the secret. So he goes on and he's going to pretty much break down exactly what's happening here, right? So Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one, and the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt. And the famine shall consume the land, and the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. Verse 32. And for that the dream was double unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out, a man decreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up a 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7th plenteous year, and let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities, and that food shall be stored to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. He basically is telling Pharaoh, you need to appoint me because I'm the chosen one. I'm the one interpreting the dream. I'm telling you what's going to happen in the future. There's going to be a major famine. And I'm going to show you how to get through this so that the land can be blessed and so that we can make it through this situation. Because if you don't appoint me, it's going to be nothing but death. This is serious. Very, very serious issue here. And it goes on and it says that the land perished not through the famine. Joseph given charge of Egypt. Now notice what happens here. He was given charge of Egypt. Now I'm not going to go through everything. I'm just going to read this last bit because I know these stories are very interesting. It goes on and it says, and the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants, meaning they liked what he said. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this? Is a man in whom the Spirit of God is? Wow. Pharaoh recognized that the Spirit of the Most High was upon Joseph. He was the only one that was able to interpret that dream. Look what went on. It goes on, it says, a man whom the Spirit of God is. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. Basically, Joseph is literally ruling. And the only thing he don't rule is the throne, which means from the throne, Pharaoh can still make a decree to be over him. But in all actuality, Joseph is controlling. The Most High put his soldier, a chosen one, to get through the famine, to do all of that stuff. Now you might be wondering, is the Most High doing this because he's doing it for the Egyptians? Because he care about their children? No. No. On the contrary, he have another purpose. He's doing this for his chosen people. See, the way I'm breaking down these scriptures, you may have probably never heard anybody do it. But as a chosen one, I told you earlier that the Most High will bless a company, bless people around you because of you. That's exactly what he's doing with the Egyptians. Let's go. It says, "For as much as God has showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen." In other words, he gave Joseph designer clothes and put a gold chain on his neck, and he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. And they cried before him, Bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. Right? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zephaniah, and he gave him to wife Anathiah. And that's pretty much where I'm going to stop right there, right? Now, I could keep going on, and I can break down everything else, but I wanted to stop because we want to talk about how family is going to betray you. Now, Joseph's brothers are the ones who sold him into captivity, into slavery. They thought they destroyed him. They thought they dimmed his life, which is typical of what people do to you today. They do the same to you today. Why was that story significant in the issue with Joseph and his family? Because the Most High was trying to preserve his people. He was trying to preserve the 12 tribes. He was trying to get them to the next level. So he blessed the Egyptians just to get his people blessed. And if you continue reading the story and you continue to follow on, Joseph was in rulership in Egypt to the point that when the famine took place, his family was struggling and they had to search out and find food and find, resources. And when they came to Egypt and they did what they had to do and they came before Joseph, they couldn't even recognize him. Just like a lot of you, when you get to a certain level in life or you start to become successful, your family and your friends may not even recognize you anymore because you have reached a certain level. They don't even understand who you are. So the way the story went down is the family was bowing before Joseph. And when his father recognized that Joseph didn't die and learned that it was his brothers that basically threw him in a well and did this and that, the brothers were in shock. And they thought that they were going to be punished. They thought that Joseph was going to have their heads. Because let me tell you, Joseph was in rulership, which means if he wanted, he could have had their heads for what they'd done. But he didn't execute any sort of vengeance, because where much is given, much is required. And when you're a chosen one, you have to understand the authority that you have. You have to understand the power that is given to you from on high. He showed mercy, and his family was able to eat and have food, and they were able to be blessed because of Joseph, because the blessing was on him, because he was a chosen one, because he rep the Most High. Even though they tried to destroy him, even though they tried to destroy this man's purpose, even though they tried to dim his life and kill him, the Most High was still with him. And I'm here to tell you today, the Most High is with you as a chosen one. There are people out there that are trying their best to stop your purpose, to stop your plan, to dim your light. They're plotting and planning on you, they get excited when you go through hard times. They think you're done. They think you're finished. But the Lord is still with you. But just know that as a chosen vessel of the Most High, your family, your friends, they're going to all come to you. They're going to all betray you. But in the story of Joseph, if you read it and read and read, and you see the ending of how everything went down, he forgave his brothers. He welcomed them with open arms, and they respected him. They respected him because of the mercy that was shown. See, as a chosen one, you have to show mercy. And none of that could have been done if the Most High wasn't with him. Imagine if Joseph had an evil heart. He would have had all his brothers put to death. And Jacob, you know what I'm saying? He was excited about this. Like, he couldn't believe it. You know, he was very, very happy to know that he's alive. Because Joseph was his favorite son, you know? And I think the next favorite, I believe, was Benjamin. But my point is, in order to understand the life of a chosen one, you have to go back to Joseph. You have to look at what he experienced. No matter what they do to you in life, you're going to prosper. No matter where they put you, it's going to prosper. No matter where. So know that as a chosen vessel, family and friends are going to betray you. They're going to. Some of you may have already been betrayed. You have to use and do what Joseph did. Use the betrayal as strength to fuel the fire. Don't be bitter. When you get to that certain level of success, don't crap out on your family. Don't say, I remember when you turned your back on me. Don't do that. Now that you're in position, bless them. That's the ultimate revenge. The ultimate revenge is all those friends and family members that turn their back on you. Once you get to that certain level and they're in a mess, bail them out and tell them, the Most High sent me to do this for you. And I guarantee you, it's going to change their life, because they're going to know that the only reason why you were able to be so successful in what you did is because the Lord was with you. So as a chosen one in today's day, you're going to go through a lot of stuff. You're going to deal with a lot of issues. A lot of people going to be rooting against you. But count it on joy. Be confident, steadfast in your walk. Keep the Most High first. Keep your energy protected. Protect your energy at all costs. And know that there's a purpose that must be fulfilled. Nothing can stop the purpose that the Most High have upon you. You might go through a setback. You might go through different issues, but the Most High is going to restore everything back. It's to refine you. It's to test you, to build you up, to strengthen your character so that you could be prepared for more. Where much is given, much is required. A lot of times people get things too fast. A lot of times people achieve greatness too fast. And once they get there, they don't know how to live their life for the Most High. They become vain. They become arrogant, self-centered. They don't want to help nobody. They don't want to do nothing for nobody. They forget about people. No. You got to know how to live and how to function in all capacities in life, whether you're poor, rich, middle class, it doesn't matter. That way, when you reach a certain level of greatness, you appreciate the journey. You appreciate what the Most High gave you, the trouble that he gave you. Not all trouble is from the devil. Not all trouble is meant for your defeat. Some trouble and some setbacks and hard times is meant to build your character as a man, as a woman. So, that being said, I hope you learned something. I hope you learn that in today's day, your family and your friends will betray you. And if your family will, your friends will. Your coworkers will. People in your neighborhood will. People on YouTube will. That's life. So that being said, I'm going to get up on out of here. I'm going to go get me something to eat. And I'm going to be back on the other channel, on the Ringo TV Raw channel. We're going to talk about Ciara. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Ciara Russell Wilson. So that being said, appreciate everybody joining the stream. Make sure you get the likes up on the video if you haven't already. And again, the reason why the Most High blessed the house of the Egyptians and got them through the famine and interpret the dreams and did all of that work, he didn't do it for them. He didn't. He did it for the children of Israel, the chosen ones. The Egyptians were supposed to die. They were supposed to perish. But because Joseph was with them, he gave them favor. Because he knew that their father and his brothers were going to go through that famine and they weren't going to make it. But because Joseph is a chosen one, he rose him up to greatness so that he can be there to preserve his family and his household. When you are chosen, the Most High will always be with you in the good, the bad, and the ugly. These are facts. Okay. That being said, we're going to get up on out of here. Like I said, I'm going to be back on the Ringo TV Raw channel. So make sure if you're not subscribed over there, make sure you subscribe over there as well. We are going to be talking about the Russell Wilson and Ciara situation. That's right. So if you like my content, if you appreciate my work and want to support, you can do so via Cash App, $ Ringo TV Raw. It's pinned in the chat right there at the top. And it is what it is. I'm going to be back later on. We're going to put in some more work. Hope you enjoyed the stream. This is a power pack lesson. Right? So, we're going to be back on later, so make sure you tune in. We're going to go to the other channel. We're going to do a video over there, and then I'm going to come back over here to do some more content and probably go back over there, and then I'm going to get back to work in the studio. The whole wall in front of me is totally completed. I have finally finished that work. It is done. Right? So, I don't know. It's 7:42 now. You know what? Before I go to the other platform, I'm going to do another video here. But first, I'm going to get something to eat. I'm going to do another video here first, and then I'm going to go over there. Right? So, it is what it is. Shout out to Tracy. I see Tracy in the building. Shout out to all the mods. You know what I'm saying? They probably busy doing whatever they got to do. So, I appreciate everybody stopping by. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat, everybody in the clouds. You know what I mean? Have a blessed evening. You know, do what you got to do. Stay safe out there. Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Very important that you do so. So, what did you learn today? hope you learned about this situation about family and friends are going to betray you. It's not pretty, it's not nice, but if you're a chosen one, there's a happy ending. You're going to have an ending that is going to be sweet. Something about success. Something about success. It does something. See, chosen ones, when they're successful, they're not boastful. Those of you that are chosen ones, you can have money and it's like, it's nothing. You can have possessions and it's like, it's nothing. Whereas other people, they worship their material. Whereas a chosen person, they recognize that these are just tools. These are just tools to get us to the next level and do certain things. But you got to be wise stewards of the tools as well. But we will talk in another video. So that being said, y'all be safe out here. Ringo TV Reactions. I'm going to sign out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel today. Click that notification bell for more. And we are out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100% raw and uncut. I'm out.